Hi and welcome to Enjoy Stampin' with Robin. Today we're going to make this super simple card that uses our Circle Scissor Plus. I saw a card similar to it by a fellow demonstrator by the name of Sandy MacGyver. And so I really liked it, and I thought, oh, I wanted to make one, and I thought I would share it with you. So I did alter it from hers, but basically it's got the same idea. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm starting off with a piece of craft cardstock that measures 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches. I scored it at 4 1/4. So let's go ahead and burnish that. Okay. And I'm going to be using a couple of the patterns from the Tall Tales Designer Series paper. This one is the So Saffron with the white pinstriping in it. And I'm also going to use floral that is just basically old olive. And you'll see in just a minute. So what I'm going to do first is go ahead and round a couple of my corners. And then again on my designer paper. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut my designer paper with my circle scissor. So let me go ahead and grab that. I really like this. I found it to be so helpful with just anything really, whether I want to draw a circle or, of course, obviously cutting. But I really do like it. I have my setting on 2.5 inches, so I'm going to create a 2.5 inch circle. Just line this up on here. What I like to do, so I don't waste paper or mess up my project and have to, well, that would waste paper as well, but I like to just kind of make it go around first to make sure I can see where the cutting line will be before I stick my blade in. And remember where you start off, because you won't want to overextend your circle. You'll want to stop at approximately the same place. And I'm starting at about noon, we'll say. Okay. So you see we have a perfect circle. I'm using Dotto removable adhesive on my glass cutting mat. So it prevents the paper from sliding around. Not that paper. That's kind of funny. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, I'm using 2 stamp sets. I'm using 3 little words, and I'm using the I Miss You from that. And I'm also using Branch Out. I'm using the branch, the tree trunk from that, and also there's a little tire swing that I think is really super cute. So I'm using both of those. I'm going to ink this branch or tree up in chocolate chip ink. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of, the treetop, I'm going to try and stamp somewhat centered in there in my designer paper. Just pretty much approximate, but try and get it as close as we can. Alright, now I'm going to do the same thing, remove this. I'm going to do the same thing on my So Saffron piece, except I'm going to turn this toward me. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my Stampin' because I want to get an idea of where this is going to, where the tree trunk, the base of the tree is going to be on my card. So I'm just going to set this on here. I'm going to somewhat line this whole tree up again on here. See, I want it down lower. Let's see. Okay, that's just about where I want that. So I'm going to put my Stampin' on there, remove my imaging sheet, and remove my tree top. And really we just need to ink up the trunk of the tree. So it doesn't matter if you get some on the branches. We're just going to cover it with our tree top designer paper. And close this up. Okay. Now I'm going to adhere this onto the card front using, I'm just going to try and line it up the best that I can. Isn't that cute? It's so cute. Now what we're going to do is use the Stampin' again. I'm going to add the tree, the swing right here. And I'm going to use basic black classic ink to do that. So Line that up. I think a Stampin' is one of the basics as far as, you know, tool chest, as far as a good investment and something I use. Sometimes we buy tools and we think, oh, I can't live without it, but we end up not using it very much. But I found that I use the Stampin' nearly every time I stamp. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm going to use a piece of scrap bordering blue and my scallop oval punch. And I'm just going to cut out a scallop. It's definitely scrap, so just kind of wiggle it around in there. And I'm also using a piece of Whisper White scrap. And I'm going to ink up in Old Olive the sentiment that says I miss you. Of course, you can use whatever sentiment goes along with your card giving, your occasion. And I'm going to punch that out in my large oval punch, not the wide one, just the large one, medium size one. And I'm going to stamp it over on the edge, closer to the left on purpose, because we're going to add that button. Okay, so adhere this. Okay. Before I attach my So Saffron layer onto my card front, I'm going to do a little bit of paper piercing. I'm going to use my matte pack. So line this up on here, just over in the corner. And the way I use this is just line up one of the edges, if not both, preferably both. But and I'm starting off in the corner, and let me move this up more. I don't like where that's at. I'm just going to punch 6 holes on the first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Move into the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, and 1. So we end up kind of with a triangle effect. Alright, we're just about done, so we're going to go ahead and adhere this to our card front. I'm sorry, that's crooked. If you're like me, that would have bothered you. So I didn't happen to see that. So then I'm going to adhere my sentiment up here in the upper right hand corner to you. That's straight. Okay, now I'm going to use a button from the Fresh Favorites 2, and I have a So Saffron button. There's just so many different buttons in here. I've had this for a while, but I use it, but I don't go really through it. I've already tied a piece of linen thread onto here, and I'm just going to attach that over here with a glue dot. Just kind of play with it a little bit. Very simple. That's it. And here's our one we started with. So I hope you like it, and I hope you make a lot of them. If you email me your picture, then I will post it on my blog. And feel free to stop by my blog. If you have any questions about this project or any projects listed there, feel free to ask, and I'd be happy to help you any way that I can. I look forward to Enjoy Stampin' with you next time. Thanks. Bye.